I chose the scenario passed over because he wasn't flashy enough from the list. And I am telling my story from the perspective of a man who was overlooked and underestimated because I believed in integrity and patience rather than flash and show. My story begins long before the betrayal, when I was a hopeful young man full of dreams and a strong work ethic. I built my life slowly, brick by brick, earning the respect of those around me through honest effort and quiet persistence. I had a small but steady job, a humble home, and a circle of friends and family who believed in me. I was the man who listened more than he spoke, who stayed late to finish a project, who never cut corners. I thought I had something real, values that mattered, bonds that would last. I trusted my boss, a man who always said he appreciated loyalty, and I trusted my colleagues, who I believed valued hard work. I thought I was part of something bigger, something genuine, and I thought that would be enough. But all of that changed the day I was passed over. It was a quiet day, like any other, and I was called into the office. My boss looked at me with a strange expression, almost uncomfortable. Then he told me I was being replaced, that I wasn't the right fit anymore. No reason, no warning, just cold words that cut like a blade. I watched as they handed the position to someone who was flashier, who talked loud and acted like he was the king of the world. I felt my heart drop into my stomach, the betrayal sinking in deep. That moment shattered me, not just because I lost my job, but because I realized I had been invisible all along. My loyalty and patience were seen as weakness, my integrity ignored, my quiet efforts unworthy of recognition. The pain was raw and bitter, like being punched in the chest by someone I trusted. I fell into a dark place, questioning everything I believed about myself. I wondered if I had been foolish to value honesty over show. For weeks I felt numb, my mind spinning with anger and shame. But something inside refused to let me stay broken. Slowly I started to rebuild. I kept my focus small at first, reading books on power, strategy, and resilience. I listened to others who had been overlooked, underestimated, betrayed. I studied their stories, learned how they turned pain into strength. I watched, listened, and quietly plotted my comeback. I paid attention to what I saw around me, the arrogance of those who flaunted their success, the cracks in their facades, the ways they looked at me with condescension. I could smell the cheap tone of the boss who thought he was invincible. Hear the laughter behind closed doors that mocked my quiet dignity. I kept my plans hidden, working late at night, building alliances with people who saw my worth. I knew I had to wait for the right moment to strike when they least expected. Every day was a test of patience, every small victory a step toward reclaiming my dignity. I learned to hide my emotions, to stay calm amid the chaos, to listen more than I spoke. I watched how they celebrated their fleeting victories, how they dismissed my silence as weakness. I knew that my strength was in my resilience, in my ability to stay true to myself while others flaunted their superficial success. Then the moment came. I waited until the perfect time, when they were least prepared and most vulnerable. I gathered evidence of their lies and manipulations, recorded every mistake, every false promise. I studied their weaknesses, their egos, their need for validation. I played the long game, and I stayed patient. Finally, I revealed everything during a corporate meeting, an event I knew they would attend. I laid out the truth with calm precision, exposing how they had manipulated, lied, and betrayed to climb higher. I presented my case with facts, not emotion, but inside I burned with quiet rage. The room fell silent as I finished. Their faces turned pale, their masks of confidence shattered. I saw the shock, the fear, the realization that their house of cards was crumbling. That was the climax, the the moment I struck back in a way they could never undo. I watched as they scrambled to save face, while I remained composed. The truth was out, and I had finally taken back what was mine. My dignity, my reputation, my voice. From that day, I used that pain as fuel. I poured it into building something greater, a business that stands on integrity, where hard work is valued over flashiness. I started mentoring others who felt invisible, who believed their worth was measured by what they showed on the surface. I wrote a book about resilience and patience, about turning betrayal into strength. I wanted to show that true power lies in staying true to yourself, even when the world favors the flashy and superficial. Today I walk with my head high, knowing I have served justice for the pain I endured. I am no longer the quiet man who was ignored. I am the man who rose from the ashes, stronger and wiser. My story isn't just about revenge. It's about redemption, about turning darkness into light. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.